Today I'm playing every custom game mode in Roblox Rivals to see which ones are actually fun and which ones are kinda crazy. If you enjoy the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and let's get straight into it. Alright, first up we have FFA. In this mode, everyone is basically on their own. There are no teams, no teammates, it's just you versus everyone. The match lasts for 7 minutes. You're meant to get as many eliminations as possible. At the end of the match, the top 4 players with the most points win, so you really want to stay and keep getting eliminations. So getting a good start is really important in this mode. The game is a little laggy, as you can see my game freeze a bit. This mode can get pretty chaotic too, because you're constantly running into different players. Sometimes you'll get into fights with multiple people at once. Someone can come up behind you at any time. FFA is also actually one of the best arcade modes for grinding weapons. Since there are so many fights happening, you can get a lot of eliminations pretty quickly. That's actually how I managed to get my diamond wrap on the sniper, just by playing a bunch of matches in this mode and stacking up eliminations. If you're trying to level up your weapons or unlock wraps faster, FFA is definitely one of the best modes to play. Now let's finish this match. Got him with the freeze. Thought I would get sniped in the face. Okay, that's the end of FFA. Alright, next up we've got Team Deathmatch. In this mode, you're split into 2 teams, and you're working together with your teammates instead of going solo like in FFA. The goal is pretty simple. You either play until the time runs out, or the first team to reach 250 points wins the match. So unlike free-for-all, this one is all about team coordination and staying grouped up. If your team works together and wins fights, you can snowball really quickly and start getting ahead on points. One thing I like about Team Deathmatch is that it feels a bit more controlled compared to FFA. You're not constantly getting attacked from every direction because you usually know where the enemy team is spawning and pushing from. But at the same time, it can still get really chaotic when both teams start fighting in the same area. The key in this mode is really just staying alive and helping your team get as many eliminations as possible. Every kill matters because it adds up fast towards that 250-point goal. So yeah, let's finish and see how this Team Deathmatch goes. And we won! Quick reminder, if you're enjoying the video, make sure to like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, and we've got more Roblox Rivals content coming soon, so don't miss it. Alright, next up we've got Gun Game, and this one is actually really fun and fast-paced. Everyone starts with the same weapon, so it's completely fair at the beginning. But the twist is that every time you get a kill, you get a new weapon, and it keeps changing as you go through the match. So instead of just sticking with one loadout, you're constantly adapting to different weapons, which makes it really chaotic. Some weapons might feel really strong and easy to use, while others can be way harder and take some getting used to. The main goal in this mode is basically to race to the final weapon, because whoever gets through all the weapons first gets to the end stage. And the final weapon is actually the glass shard, which is the hardest part, because it's a version of the knife that does 1 damage per hit and 150 damage every backstab. You still have to secure a win with it to finish the game. So it's not just about getting kills fast, it's also about being able to control the final weapon of the match. That's where things usually get really intense and messy. All right, Let's finish and see how quickly we were able to climb through the weapons and make it to the final one. And we won! Alright, that was pretty fun, but now we're moving on to the next game mode, Double Trouble. This one's actually really interesting because in this mode you can wield two weapons at the same time, which makes the fights a lot more chaotic. Alright, this is Double Trouble, and this mode is actually pretty wild because you're able to wield two weapons at the same time. That means fights can get really fast since both players have way more firepower than usual. For this first match, I decided to use a random loadout, just to see how it would play out in this mode. Honestly, it makes things a lot more unpredictable because you never really know if the combo you get is going to work well together or not. But somehow we managed to make it work and actually took the win in match 1, which was a pretty good start. Now moving into match 2, things started getting a bit tougher. Double Trouble can get really chaotic because both players can switch between two weapons so quickly during fights. 1 second you think you have the advantage, and the next second the other player turns the fight around. And then going into match 3, I was hoping to bounce back and even things out. At this point, both of us were getting used to the mode, so the fights were getting even more intense. I tried to play a bit smarter and take better fights, but in the end it still didn't work out, and I lost the third match as well. Double Trouble is definitely a fun mode though, because the fights feel really fast and unpredictable. We lost yet again. Alright, after that I decided to queue into a 1v1 game mode, and I actually ended up matching against my friend By the 2023. Now this player is hard to beat, so I already knew this was going to be a tough match. I decided to use my auto shoot sniper because I knew I was going to need something strong to keep up in this fight. And honestly, once the match started, I started hitting some really nice shots. At that point, I kinda just locked in, landing shot after shot and playing really carefully so I didn't throw the fight. It honestly felt like I turned into a sniper god for a moment. Matches like this are always intense though, especially when you're playing against someone who's actually really good at the game. But somehow we managed to keep the momentum going and stay in control of the fight. Alright, after that, I decided to queue into a 1v1 game mode. This time I didn't actually get my friend By the 2023, but honestly that might have been a good thing because he's really hard to beat. Once the match started, I just tried to lock in and play carefully, focusing on my aim and movement so I didn't make any big mistakes. In 1v1s, every little fight matters, so you really have to stay focused the whole time. The fights were actually pretty intense, but I kept the pressure on and tried to control the pace of the match. Moments like this are really fun because it's just a straight skill fight between two players. Alright, for the next one I decided to try something a little different. This time I only used the default loadout, which is assault rifle, handgun, fist, and grenade. It's basically the most basic setup you can use in the game. You just have to focus on your aim, movement, and timing during fights. Another way people play this is with the shorty and freeze ray method, which can also be pretty interesting because it changes how you approach fights. We won! Alright, for the last one we're switching things up and doing a 2v2 match. And this time, I've got my friend on my team. So instead of fighting solo, now it's all about teamwork and coordination. In 2v2s, you really have to work together, because if one teammate goes down, it can quickly turn into a 2v1 situation, which is really hard to do. So the plan here is just to stay close, support each other in fights, and try to win as many rounds as possible. But we won! Alright, that's the end of the video. We tried a bunch of custom modes in Roblox Rivals. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, subscribe, and join NovaX. Link in the description and pinned comment. I'll see you in the next one.